Hi guys, it's Nika and I am back with another speed build. Today I am building once again in Oasis Springs and I am building a house that doesn't really have a name, but I called it a lot and I will call this video Opposites Attract because there are two Sims living on this lot and they are very different. I based this on an idea that I got a few days ago and it was kind of dumb, but then that idea wouldn't leave me, so I just tried to build it in The Sims, and I feel like I will create those characters as Sims as well. And I'm feeling like kind of maybe, I don't know, writing a short story about them. I will probably write it in Czech, so I won't share it anywhere on the internet. It will be just something for me, but I'm just so obsessed with this stupid idea. And I feel like something like this about like opposites attracted, about opposite roommates, opposite neighbors. I feel like this idea has been done many, many times, but I don't care. I just want to write it. But before we get into that, I want to say I am sorry for the quality of this video. It was quite a struggle to record it. First, I recorded it at a place where how do I say it? I was outside basically, and it was quite hot. And my laptop couldn't handle it and it started lagging. But it wasn't like the lag wasn't too bad, so I kept building. But then I looked at the footage and OBS was struggling and it didn't really record much of what I was building. Then I actually forgot to record part of this video. Part of this build, and I didn't even realize, but I feel like it's okay that I forgot because I got the same lag from overheating. So yeah, it's fine, I guess. And then actually for the most part I finished this build yesterday when I was at home, and even though it's quite hot in my room, it's not as bad as when you are literally sitting outside with your computer. But that's my bad. I should have known. I mean, I was in the shade, but I should have known that maybe it's not the best to open a Sims game outside. I was writing, so it was actually quite nice. I was writing and I was in nature and it was kind of inspiring, good vibes all around. And then I didn't know what else to write, so I closed it. I closed my story and I went to play The Sims. And for like 5 minutes that was good, and then my laptop started struggling. But I kept building and then the footage was shit. But yeah, lesson learned, I guess. And now let's get into the story. So, there are two apartments on this lot, and there are two very different girls living in this apartment. So, on the ground floor, we have a girl who doesn't have a name. Both of these girls don't have names yet, but this girl, she is kind of shy. She is very introverted. She's kind of like very calm and quiet and, soft soul, I would say, something like that. And she is an ASMR artist because I don't know, I just really wanted to create an ASMR artist because I love ASMR. Maybe I will talk about that more later. But yeah, so she has an ASMR channel on SimTube or whatever, and she is recording all these ASMR videos, and obviously for that she needs a lot of quiet. And she used to have that for a long time because her upstairs neighbor wasn't very loud. I imagine maybe it was some older lady or something like that. But then the older lady moved out or something happened. I don't know. The older lady is not living there anymore. And there is actually a new neighbor now. And it's also a girl about her age, and she is a total opposite of this quiet introverted girl. This upstairs girl, we're gonna call them downstairs girl and upstairs girl for now. They don't have names, as I said. So the upstairs girl, she is quite loud. She is very active. She likes to bring friends over. She likes to host small parties for them, not like huge house parties like you see in teenage movies where the house is destroyed afterwards. Nothing like that, but still, it gets loud and yeah, and her big hobby, the upstairs neighbor's hobby, she is very much into sports. She goes jogging every day. She's got this punching bag. She does a lot of exercises in her bedroom. And naturally, when she like jumps around, and she doesn't even have to jump, like I exercise in an apartment. I know how loud it can get, and every time I'm afraid my downstairs neighbor will be pissed and will come say something to me. He did not yet. He's kind of like I feel like he won't, and like he is quite loud himself, so like it's fine. We're not gonna talk about that. Tea about my neighbors. We'll spill that some we'll spill that some other time. But yeah, so this girl, this upstairs girl, she is quite loud all the time, and naturally that kind of pisses the downstairs girl off. But you know, her being kind of a soft soul and shy and very like doesn't want any drama and all that, she tries to deal with that. She just you know, her recording process, it gets a bit messy and complicated because she's trying to figure out the times when the house will be quiet and everything. And the upstairs neighbor, I wouldn't say she's like intentionally disrespectful or anything. I feel like maybe she asked the downstairs girl if it's okay that she will jump around in her apartment, and the downstairs neighbor, she didn't want any conflicts or anything, so she was just like, yeah, feel free to do anything in your apartment. It's your apartment, go ahead. But inside she was already like, oh my god, this is gonna be hell. How am I going to function with such a loud neighbor above my head, with the job that I have, with the hobby that I have? Like, I have an ASMR channel to update and I want to stick to my schedule, but how am I gonna do that? So like, she didn't tell her that she's like uncomfortable with that, or that she needs some quiet days, because she didn't want to have any conflict or anything like that. So, and also she didn't tell the girl about her channel, so it's quite awkward. And I feel like she doesn't mean to, but the downstairs girl, you can kind of tell that it's making her angry. And then, I don't know, there would be some things happening in the story. It would be a little bit like, I don't want to say enemies to lovers, because they are not enemies, but they will kind of grow to dislike each other. And yeah, and then, as I said, things will happen, and eventually they will work everything out. And of course, because it's still Pride Month when I'm recording this, and it's illegal to be straight this month, they are gonna kiss. And I mean, you're seeing this in July, and still, even if I recorded this in July, they are still gonna kiss, because Pride Month should be every month. I said what I said. All the power to the queers. I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, they are gay for each other, even though for a long time they hate each other and their hobbies aren't exactly compatible, and they will have to work out how to live with each other, I guess. And yeah, then we can wonder what's gonna happen once they kiss, what's gonna happen once they start dating. So yeah, you can think about that, you can imagine them. I would really like to create them at some point. I'm not sure when, but I just really like this idea, and I feel like if I wrote this as a story, it would be kind of fun. I know I maybe haven't made it sound as fun as it is in my head, but trust me, it's funny in my head. It would be a great comedy in my head, and yeah, I just suck at explaining. And the only reason why I don't suck at explaining when I'm writing a story is because I get to think about it and I get to prepare it, but there's not that preparation time when I'm talking to you, I guess. I don't know, I'm over explaining again, and I know that when I over explain I make things even more complicated. but that's just who I am. I'm sorry. But anyway, it is the 1st of July when you're seeing this, I believe. Yeah, 1st of July is on Saturday, I think. So the summer holiday just started here in the Czech Republic. All the students are home from school. They will be home for, not home, I mean, I guess a lot of us, I mean, I'm not a student anymore, but I feel like a lot of people will travel, a lot of people will have summer jobs and stuff like that. But yeah, for 2 months now, no school, no nothing, we can all chill. Again, I say we as if I was still a student, but yeah, what are you doing in the summer? Let me know in the comments. I've already sort of talked about my plans in like 2 or 3 weeks. I don't remember the calendar. I'm going to Italy and I'm super excited about that. I think I talked about that a lot in my Villa Latia video from a few weeks ago. I am so excited. I love Italy so much. Basically, imagine, you know how there are these people who are super obsessed with Japan or super obsessed with the United Kingdom? Yeah, I'm like that, but about Italy. But I feel like with these people, what are they called? Tiabus, Weeaboo, something like that. One is for Japan, one is for the UK. I feel like a lot of time there's like a lot of, they probably don't mean it, but I feel like there's a lot of disrespect and a lot of like unhealthy romanticizing the country. I don't know how I would say it, but I'm trying to be respectful in my like Italian obsession, I would say. I'm trying to learn a few phrases. I'm trying to learn the language. I've started an Italian course on Duolingo again, and I know that you can't really learn a language just off Duolingo, although it has helped me. Like, I would not be able to speak Italian, but I do recognize some words and like the grammatical patterns and all that. So like it helps, but I feel like on Duolingo alone you can't learn a language, although I would be happy to be proven wrong. And I haven't done that yet, but I've got this textbook for Italian learners. Sorry, I can't say that word. And it is actually designed for when you're studying on your own. I got it like 3 years ago for Christmas because I really wanted it. Or maybe 2 years ago. I think we were in the pandemic and I wanted to use that time to learn Italian because it has been a big dream of mine. I've had that dream for years. Still haven't learned it, and I have barely opened that textbook, but I feel like maybe in the few weeks before we go to Italy, I will open it and I will try to learn some stuff. I know a lot of words, but I would not be able to use them in a sentence. I think I would be able to say my name, like mi chiamo Veronica, and I'm from Czech Republic. Sono, oh my god, how do you say from? I know Czech Republic is Republika Čeka, and maybe the accents were wrong, but Republika Čeka is Czech Republic in Italian. How do you say from? Della, something like that. You don't need to correct me in the comments. I will look it up. But yeah, I'm pretty good with numbers. I can count in Italian, and actually in every language that I've ever tried to learn, I remember numbers and months and days of the week because they sound pretty similar in most languages. I say most because most languages do have that, like January, February, March, April, words very similar to that. And then you have Czech and we use completely different words. For example, I was born in December, but our word for December doesn't resemble December at all. The word for December in Czech is prosinec. Or right now, when you are watching this, or when this video goes out, we are in July. In Czech, that is červenec. Or the month before that, June, that is červen in Czech. So yeah, we have very different words for the months, and I think I know who to blame, like historically, but yeah, it doesn't really matter, I guess, but sometimes I just shake my head and I'm like, why couldn't we have similar words? Even Slovak has like words very similar to December and January and February and stuff like that. Anyway, I think I've been rambling about languages for a long time now, and we are coming to an end in this video, so I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you did. Let me know where you are going in the summer. I hope you will have an amazing summer. After the past like 3 years, we deserve finally a gorgeous, amazing, great summer. What else do I need to say? Just my goodbyes, I guess. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. I love you guys. Bye, everyone.